Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Two of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. I get the sense of you being busy with something that you're trying to balance, and it feels like you're juggling something. You have that amount of things going on. It feels like something else is coming in to be incorporated. It may feel like this is not the best time, but I'm not seeing it not be possible. It just feels like you're going to have to, when this comes in, it will be something that you have to throw into the balance among everything else that you have going on. Okay. So that's going on over there. Over here, what I'm seeing is that it looks like there's been some split between you and another person. If this is not you, if you have not recently gone through some type of, not only in a romantic sense, but it looks like this is some type of break up. But when I say that, it means like anything that could happen between two people. So this can be something that went down that there can need to be like a time of recovery for. It can be a breakup. It can just be like a difficult situation that you're having with somebody. But I do get the sense that something has definitely happened. If this is not you, if you're thinking about it and you're like, there's nobody that I've really been having like any sort of drama with lately, this can be another person that's going to be coming through and communicating with you. If that is the case, it looks like they just went through some type of split and they may be taking some time to themselves right now. Sort of like recovering from it, from whatever this was that happened. Okay. So as for your energy, it looks like that you have a lot going on as far as your responsibilities. Can be a lot of like, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta make sure that I check this, like those sorts of things. Right now, for some of you, can be a busy time at work as well. It doesn't just have to be, it can be like work, it can be family, just all of the things that you have to take care of. For some of you, there can be a parent that you're taking care of, or something along the lines of that. It can be a family member or something. Social obligations as well can be part of this. Okay. For those of you that you're identified with the energy of the King of Pentacles, all right. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing something happening between two people, and it looks like there's a final closing out of a chapter. To have the Lovers and to have the Death card, this can mean like we are realizing that it's just not a good idea for us to be in a relationship or for us to have a relationship, or this is just something that needs to end. Death card and Ten of Swords are similar to one another, but Ten of Swords can be more so something going down, but it may not be over. It can be something that had happened where that aspect of the cycle is closing out, but it may not be a never returning back to an interaction. With the Death card, there can be an indication of there being something that's like a final closing out, and because the Lovers are above it, the Lovers tend to be like a relationship choice that's being made. And to have the Death card below it can be like again, we're deciding that this relationship is over. It can be that type of thing. We're not going to be interacting with one another anymore, or like what was happening within the dynamic is not going to be happening anymore. There are different ways that this can be. It can be like maybe somebody's still going to be, well, whoever's business this is, maybe somebody's still going to be in another person's life, but it can be like, but we're not going to be like that with one another anymore. It can be like that type of thing that goes on. And there is definitely going to be what looks like a recovery period. I get the sense too that someone may feel like at this point they need to prioritize. It's like a 10th house type of thing. Somebody can feel like they need to prioritize family right now, or someone can feel like they need to prioritize work right now, or somebody may feel like when it comes to the stuff that they care about and the roles that they play, all of the different things that they do, all of which are important to them, they have to be in a place of figuring out how to balance all of those things. Because I'm not even just getting this be like picking only one thing that matters to you. This feels like in the realm of all of the things that you're responsible for and all of the things that matter to you, prioritizing those things, like the places that one has to show up, prioritizing those things, and then making moves accordingly, no matter how long it takes, because this is connected with the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles moves so slowly. So this can be really slow, long-term progress that's being made. It's being made nonetheless, but it is something that takes a lot of time. Now, what I'm seeing over here is that as that was something that was going on, you see the Death card, and you also see Page of Wands. And what this can mean is that there's a big time of transition, and it feels like the Ace of Wands is what introduces that. So the Ace of Wands is basically like an opportunity. It can be like a portal that presents itself. It can be a door that opens. It's something that's sort of being introduced, and it's an option whether somebody wants to take that or not. But they can look at the Ace of Wands and be like, when it comes to the things that are important to me, this is something that will help those things grow. And so that's something that I want to take on, even though I already have stuff going on that I have to balance. Again, with like the sense of, or the sentiment of somebody juggling, it's like they're already juggling all of the things that they have going on, like doing the dance of this area of their life. And there's one more thing now that's going to be incorporated into everything that they have going on. So it just feels like an additional thing that's being placed there, but one sees this as being worthwhile to take this opportunity or to add this on to what they're doing, because one feels like there is potential for them to grow in an area of their life that they're prioritizing right now, and that being important. And it feels like, especially because there may be other things that are moving really slowly, and this can maybe be something that speeds things up, or that allows further progression, or allows further growth and expansion. And that's why this would be taken on, even though it's not like someone has nothing going on and this is like the be all end all opportunity. This is more so like, I already have stuff going on and this is another thing. So driving home the point here, I feel like we've said that 5 different ways. So next thing that's happening is I'm seeing something going on within a relationship dynamic. This can be a partnership. It can be like, I've been collaborating with this person. We're not going to be working together anymore. Some of you, this can even be a relationship thing where it's like, I've been married to this person and now we're going to divorce because Scorpio is here. Representative, the Death card is here. Representative of the 8th house. The 8th house being connected with, can be sudden reversals. It can be things that we lose, especially at a time like this, even though like nothing is really lost, but it can be that sense of surrendering things. So like it is, it's not going to be any longer, and this feels like it's specifically connected with a relationship of some sort, a partnership of some sort. It can be, again, like business partners, it can be a friendship, it can be a romantic relationship, a platonic relationship, just anything of the sort that happens to be between people is most of all what this looks like. This is not an easy choice, and this may not be the easiest transition, but it feels like one could feel like this is necessary in order for them to then step upon a path that feels meaningful to them. So this can be one of those times where a sacrifice has to be made, but there's a reason for doing this, and it can still be like, I know that I'm doing this for me, and I know that I'm doing this for the right reasons, and that this is aligned for me. At the same time, this can still be difficult. This can still be painful. It means that I'm going to have to wrap my head around this. It means that things aren't going to be happening like that anymore. It's like that type of thing that ends up happening. So as this is going to be definitely a period of transition, I do feel like there's going to be a relationship that is going through a huge transition. But one can feel like this affects different areas of their life. Like, I feel like these two sort of areas of life are coming up and they're intertwined with one another, because this can have to do with one's identity within a relationship that is currently going through a transition. And because of that, having Ten of Swords here can feel like there is pain involved, and there can also be transition involved, because the Ten of Swords is going to be like the climax as something has culminated, but it's going to birth a Page of Wands, which means that this is going to be setting somebody up to be walking upon a course that will feel a path that will feel very important to be walking upon. Some of you, divorce can be involved in this. Just one of the ways that this can be. This will feel like a major progression, but also a major transition in one's life. The Death card is not just a simple, like, we're getting to a 10 and that's it. Like with the Ten of Swords, how that can be. Ten of Swords can be, yeah, that was a painful ending, the way that happened. At the same time, like, things keep going, like life keeps going. Death card is going to feel like big things shift and big things change. And this can, like, shift the gravitational force within one's life, you know? Like, one's life can be looking a whole different way when they get to the other side of this transition. And this can be something that happens over a span of time, too, where one will look back at this point and say, that was a point of major change within my life. So it will feel significant in that way. Or like that was where that came to a full stop. So it won't be that, it's going to feel like a very black and white moment. It feels like within a relationship for that part. The path is now made clear. That's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at Virgo on the bottom of the deck. I'm seeing Scorpio and Gemini here. What's happening sets one up for the path that they're going to be walking upon. To have the Ace of Swords, it feels like this is being made very, very clear. It feels like there's a very clear understanding of what's happening between you and this person. Like that, nothing needs to be figured out anymore. Like that has been made clear now. It feels too like, because this is going to be a time of great change, that one is also going to be focusing on what they need to do for themselves at this point. And it feels too like, because of this ending, as something is closing out, it means that it like automatically births someone onto, well, let's say you for the sake of this reading, as the Ten of Swords happens, which is like this thing closes out, it births you onto the path of the Page of Wands, which is like, now you're going to be here doing this. And that feels very obvious that that's what's going to be happening then. There's no more like figuring things out or being in that space of in between. This is like, it feels very black and white now at this point, what's going on. Like, I just get that there could have had been a sense of, what's happening? Is this happening? Like, what does that mean? Where am I going? Like, those types of things. Now I'm seeing it feel very clear what's happening with all of this. You know what's happening within the dynamic. That, again, that doesn't need to be figured out anymore. This is going to be a time of focusing on oneself, I'm seeing. To have the Death card leading into the Four of Swords, this is going to be a time where you really get your mind right, and that being important because there's going to be a lot of psychological change that happens. And it does feel like it spawns off of what's going on within the relationship and also the changes that will occur now that things are happening. I get too that you're being guided to focus on prioritizing your stability and long-term growth, and to be looking ahead at opportunities that are going to get you ahead. When I say get you ahead, I mean more so allow you to make the type of progress that you're looking to make. It's like the things that will be nurturing and watering the stuff that you care about, especially the things that are important to you. For some of you, there's going to be more of a focus on your career, schooling, training. It can be like really any type of role that you play. It can be a family role that you play. Can be stuff that's going on when it comes to like, I'm figuring out who I am. I'm figuring out who I'm creating myself to be. I'm figuring out things about like identities that I'm experiencing and that I'm trying out and that I'm fitting on, you know, like those types of things. And it feels like in the setting of a worldly setting, like what are you doing here in 3D? Like those types of things that you're up to, what you have going on, and figuring that out. Like, who am I as an adult? Like, who am I growing into? It's like that type of thing that's happening here. In a relational sense, it seems like to have Hermit on the bottom of the deck, it seems like this will also be a period of, I'm hearing transpection. That's interesting. It will be like a period of introspection that you're participating in, where there can be a lot of things about your life that you're thinking about. You can be thinking about your purpose. You can be thinking about like who you want to be for yourself, who you want to be to others. And this can also feel like a time of great change, where there may be some stuff where you're not going to be doing those things anymore, or some things that you are going to be doing now, like that type of stuff that's going on. The best thing that you can do for yourself is to be focused on investing in slow growth right now. Even though the aim isn't for it to be slow, it feels like this is just the type of growth that's going to be happening currently, where it's about being resourceful. It is about slow and steady and seeing what comes from you, being consistent within your life, like taking the steps in the right way, like those types of things, where you're actually going to build something extremely stable for you within your life during a time when things may feel kind of chaotic or destabilizing, especially psychologically. So it feels like counterbalancing that energy with what you are doing physically, what you're up to physically, the stability that you're cultivating within your life, as mentally and for many of you socially, you're going through a very great change right now. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.